Hi folks, this is Jeff from Waikato Consulting. Today we're going to talk about the texting challenge in Salesforce. All automations in Salesforce support emailing, workflow, process builder, escalation rules, assignment rules, flow, auto response rules, but there is no inherent texting support in Salesforce. What if we want to send text messages instead of email? What options do we have? Well, here's our options. Write Apex code. Well, you can do that, but somebody has to maintain that code. You have to have a coding resource. We could go to the App Exchange. There's texting apps there, but they're all paid apps, and I haven't seen any free ones that appear to be worth anything. And then we can build it simply using a declarative function, the mouse, which is what we're going to do today. So let's build it. Here's what we'll need. You already have your user info, you know their mobile number, and you know their cell carrier. We're going to create a custom email field on the user object. We're going to create a custom email field on the object we want to text from, leads for our example. And we're going to use Process Builder to update the custom texting field on the lead object. So forwarding email to mobile devices, you use their mobile number and their carrier. All the carriers have an SMS gateway. Once you know the carrier, you know how to text to them using email. Verizon, for example, is the number at vtext.com. AT&T is the number at att.com. All the carriers have a format for this published. The only downside to this, it's limited to 160 characters because it's an SMS gateway. So let's build this. So the first thing we do is create a custom email field on the user object. I called it texting mobile number, and here it is. It's just the user's mobile number followed by the SMS gateway of their carrier, in this case, Verizon. Then we create a custom email field on the lead object, and we call that owner texting email. Now we'll look at the process that's going to populate that field. Now we're working in Process Builder, but we could also do this in Workflow. So we give this a name, and the process starts when a record changes. So first we're going to add our object, which in this case is leads. So we get our lead object and select it. Now we're going to pick when a record is created or edited because we want this to work if the owner changes on a record. We'll give this a criteria name of update the field. Okay. And then we're going to say formula evaluates to true. Now here's what we're doing here. Leads have queues. We do not want an email to go out to our queue. So we're going to use that logic in here because all user records start with 005. And if it starts with 00G, it's a queue. So we exclude that. Then we're going to do our update record action. And we're going to update the field. We're going to select the record that started the process. And then we're going to add our action here. We're going to set the field. So we go find our texting field, owner texting email, and we're going to do a field reference. And now we're going to go back and get that text email field off the owner user record. So we go back to the owner ID, and we go back and grab that thing off the actual user record that we created before. And there it is. And we save that. Now, if it had been a queue, that logic would have evaluated to false. So it'd be on this leg of the process now. And here's where we're just going to clear the value of the field. We don't want anything in that field if the ownership of the lead changes the queue. So we're going to clear it. We save it. And now we're going to clear that field. So we go find the field itself. Going to do an update record and clear the field. And it's the record that started the process. And now we're going to clear the field using the global constant null. So we'll go for the owner texting email, global constant null, which is blank, and save it. And that's about it. At that point, we just have to activate this and go for it. And we could have done this in workflow also. So let's have a look and see what this looks like back in the org. Okay, let's go into the lead. And right now we see the owner texting email is blank. I'm going to change the user to myself. And now what I expect to see is my mobile texting number populating that field from my user record. And there it is. And now we're going to change the ownership of the lead again to a queue. And what we want to see is the value in that field cleared. We don't want to send a text to our queue. And there it is. It clears it out. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at how we can actually use this thing. So whether we're creating a process for this or workflow, all we need to do now is go into the email alert, and now we get that field. We've fooled Salesforce into thinking this is an email field when it's really a texting field. So there you have it. That's how to text in Salesforce. We'll end our video today with a marketing message. Go to WaikatoConsulting.com for user training. Salesforce has no user training classes. I create custom curriculums and I've trained hundreds of users. I do train the trainer classes. I teach people in companies to train the users themselves. You can register for any Salesforce class at my website. I'm an authorized training reseller, and the advantage of using me instead of going on the Salesforce.com website is that I talk to you first, and I make sure that you're picking the right classes. And I do consulting, new implementations, toxic cleanups, customizations, all those different things, anything to do with Salesforce.com. So thanks for watching today.